We've already mentioned strings a little bit, but anytime you have some characters surrounded by quotation marks, they can either be single quotation marks, double quotation marks, or backticks. It's a string. These are called string literals, and you can create them just like you see above. I'm going to do a few more. So var my first name equals Bo, and var my last name equals Carnes. So that's how you create a string in JavaScript. Sometimes your string contains the quote symbol. Now, normally the quotes identify the beginning and the ending of the string. But what if you have something like this? I am a double quoted string inside double quotes. So I'm actually trying to use these quotes right inside the string, but the JavaScript doesn't know what to do about it. It thinks that this is the whole string. When it sees the first quote inside the string, it thinks we're at the end of the string. So there's something called an escape character. So if you want to escape a quote, that means it will no longer be considered the end of the string. I'm going to put a backslash. So if I put a backslash before each of these quotation marks, JavaScript no longer interprets it as being the last character in the string. So now you can see this is a full string. And then if I log this out, console.log, and I put my string, you'll see that it's not going to show the quotation marks. So, I mean, it's not going to show the backslashes. It shows the quotation marks without the backslashes because when we put backslash quotation mark, JavaScript knows that this should just mean a quotation mark. We talked about escaping a quote character like this, where you put a backslash before the quote character so JavaScript knows that this is supposed to be a literal quote character inside the string. However, you're not going to have to escape quote characters very often because there are other methods of accomplishing the same thing of having a quote character within a string. So a common way is to use, instead of having your string start with double quotes, have it start with a single quote. So a string can either be surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. So this time we're just going to have single quotes. And now I can remove all these escape characters from inside the string here. Okay, so now you can see that JavaScript still knows that this is a string, even though it has these double quotes inside. An additional thing you could do is use backticks. So if I put a backticks before at the beginning and the end of the string, now I actually can use single quotes and double quotes both within the string. But right now I'm just going to focus on showing you the double quotes or the single quotes with the double quotes inside. We talked about escaping a double quote character by using the backslash before the double quote. There's actually quite a few other things you can escape out. You can escape out a single quote character. You can escape out a backslash. In fact, anytime you're going to use a backslash, you're going to have to put two backslashes so the JavaScript knows that you're not trying to escape a character. You can also add a new line character or a carriage return, a tab, a backspace, or a form feed, all with doing a slash and then the corresponding letter here. So let me show you an example. I'm going to put var my string equals, and we're going to make a multi-line string. So we're going to have the first line, and now I'm going to put backslash in to add a second line, and then I'm going to put a tab. So backslash T for the tab, and backslash backslash to add a backslash. Now it's going to say second line. Now I'll do backslash, and then I'll just say third line. And if I were able to log out all of that, you would see three different lines, and you would see the tab and then the backslash character.